Welcome back to Campus Countdown. I'm your host, William Biagini, and today we'll be covering Kentucky Fried Chicken offers up to 100% tuition coverage for employees. Professors argue that participation in sports based on gender stems from white supremacy. And China is inside every major American university, according to former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. We'll be covering these stories and more on today's episode of Campus Countdown. In our number three story for this week, KFC has recently partnered with Western Governors University, WGU for short, in Utah to offer KFC restaurant employees scholarships covering up to full tuition for students pursuing a degree from WGU. This ties into a broader trend where companies are providing opportunities for partial and, in some cases, full tuition coverage for employees. The new partnership will allow students enrolled at WGU to choose from a wide range of different degree programs spanning multiple fields of work, including business, information technology, education, and healthcare. It also adds KFC to an increasing list of companies responding to soaring tuition rates by financially assisting entry level workers. This is in stark contrast to universities and colleges, who are doing little to control runaway tuition. Some other companies offering similar programs are Starbucks and McDonald's. For example, McDonald's has a specific program called Archways to Opportunity that offers tuition assistance for employees. And since its inception, Archways has awarded over $165 million in high school and tuition assistance, according to their website. Furthermore, while KFC is only offering 11 $20,000 scholarships per year, they're offering hundreds of $2,500 scholarships to attend a 2 year college or a trade school, playing into yet another trend of companies and universities partnering together to refocus education on skills training. Enrollment for the new program at WGU opened on February 1st of this year. In our number two story for this week, professors argue that sex segregated sports stem from white supremacist and heteropatriarchal ideologies. Joining me now with all the details on this story is special guest Blake Boudreau. Blake is a campus reform correspondent and student at the University of Virginia. All yours, Blake.
Anima Ajapong, a professor at the University of Cincinnati and a professor that goes by the name of Travers at Simon Fraser University, recently co-authored an op-ed claiming that sex-segregated sports, quote, reproduce gender inequality and is based on, quote, racialized ideology. Anima Ajapong, a professor at the University of Cincinnati, as well as a professor that goes by the name of Travers from Simon Fraser University, recently co-authored an op-ed claiming that gender segregation in sports reproduces gender inequality and is based on racialized ideology. A section of the op-ed reads, "Given the historical and contemporary reasons for sex segregation in sport, there is a heightened need to challenge the practice." Additionally, it posits that today's sporting environments are an outgrowth of the European colonial effort that positioned sports as part of a civilizing project that was white supremacist and heteropatriarchal at its core. When contacted for comment, Simon Fraser told Campus Reform that the role of a university is to foster debate around controversial issues. This all is in stark contrast to studies that show that biological men are stronger and faster than women. This is clearly seen through their performance in various physical activities. Additionally, as NBC reports, men's biological advantage over women in sports lasts even a year after hormone treatment meant to suppress testosterone. In the op-ed, the professors argued that potential bans on biological men competing in women's sports delegitimize trans people. They also say that the measures are backed by white supremacist conservative movements. Ajapong is a professor of women's and sexuality studies and has written extensively on similar topics. Travers discusses other transgender issues both as a professor and author of several books. In fact, in one of her books, she argues that kids should question the need for binary sex. Back to you, William.
Thank you, Blake. For our number one story this week, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo warned that the Chinese Communist Party was inside every major American university. This includes the University of Pennsylvania, which houses the Biden Center. He stated that, quote, "We now know that this Chinese money, these Chinese officials, met classified documents in that space," end quote. Regarding his previous positions as the director of the CIA and Secretary of State under President Trump, he said that he never gave an inch, Yet, as campus reform has previously reported, the Biden administration is reducing scrutiny of Chinese influence in higher education. On the flip side, Representative Virginia Fox, chairwoman of the Education and Workforce Committee, recently reopened investigations into foreign donations to American universities, including the University of Pennsylvania. Campus reform higher education fellow Nicholas Giordano explained extensively in an op ed for the Daily Wire just how Chinese money affects American universities. He cites one example where the department chair at Harvard University failed to disclose a salary from the Wuhan University of Technology in China, where he had opened a lab for research. Giordano argues in the op ed that, quote, unfortunately, following the money reveals why universities are turning a blind eye. They're addicted to the cash flow. Giordano also states that foreign nations are using American college campuses and universities to buy influence on and off campus. In other words, foreign nations such as China are using American universities as vessels to obtain a foothold in our higher education, economy, and medical research. And for our woke tweet of the week, we have a tweet by Blair Peters, an assistant professor at Oregon Health and Science University. The tweet reads, quote, the care needs of transgender and gender diverse people will not ever be clear if viewed solely through a lens of cisgender heteronormativity. The issue is not with care, it's with the lens that it's being seen through. End quote. This tweet comes as 59-year-old transgender figure skater Minna Maria Antikainen recently competed in Finland, but slipped on the ice and was unable to get back up on his feet. And that concludes this week's episode of Campus Countdown. To read all about these stories and more, check us out at campusreform.org. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Campus Reform. I'm William Biagini. Thank you for watching Campus Countdown.